in a land ruled by power and paralyzed by fear, where a single word from the throne could seal a man's fate. There lived a man of unshakable faith, a foreigner, a captive, a servant of the Most High. His name was Daniel. But Daniel was no ordinary exile. He walked with wisdom that baffled scholars, spoke with authority that silenced nobles, and carried himself with a quiet strength, the kind that only comes from knowing whose you are. In the courts of kings, Daniel rose, higher than advisors, more trusted than warriors, favored even by the king himself. But where favor flows, envy follows. In the shadows of the palace, hatred grew. The king's counselors, cloaked in silk but seething with spite, watched Daniel with narrowed eyes and clenched fists. "How," they whispered, "does this foreigner, this Jew, sit where we should sit?" They conspired, they dug for dirt, but his record was spotless, his conduct blameless. So if they could not find fault, they would create one. They forged a decree, crafted with flattery, laced with venom.
For 30 days let no man pray high to any god or man, except to you, O king.
And with the king's ring, their trap was sealed. To disobey, death, the lion's den, a sentence wrapped in royal law, unbreakable even by the king himself. And Daniel, he knew the law, he knew the cost, he knew the lions waited. But still, he prayed. Not once, not secretly, not in hushed tones behind locked doors. 3 times a day, windows wide open, he knelt and lifted his voice to heaven, to the God who formed the stars, who holds the breath of kings, who sees in secret. And so they came for him, with smirks on their faces and scrolls in their hands. They dragged him to judgment. The king, stricken, helpless, regretful. But the law was the law. And as the sun dipped below the horizon, Daniel was led to the pit. The lions stirred, their growls rumbled like thunder in the earth. Their eyes flickered, hungry. The stone was rolled, sealed, final. Night fell like a shroud. The king's palace was filled with silence. No feasting, no music, no rest. Only the echo of a single question. What have I done? And then, dawn. The sky barely lit with morning's breath. The king ran, robes flying, sandals pounding against stone, to the den, to the pit, to the tomb sealed with fear.
Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God, whom you serve continually, been able to save you from the lions?
O king, live forever. My God sent his angel and shut the mouths of the lions. They have not harmed me, for I was found innocent before him and before you.
And Daniel stepped into the light. Not a scratch, not a bruise, not a mark of fear. Only the unmistakable proof that God had been with him in the darkness. That day the lions roared no more. The conspirators were judged, and the king declared, "The God of Daniel is the living God. His kingdom shall never be destroyed. His dominion shall never end." Because when men conspire, when hatred rises, when the jaws of death open wide, there is still a God who shuts the mouths of lions, who walks with his servants through the fire, and who proves, once and for all, that the final word belongs not to kings, not to laws, not to fear, but to him, the living God, the lion tamer, the author of every ending.